All right, what's going on, Sky Squad? This is going to be a recap for Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is like, I think, one of the last episode before the finale, I think. And if I had to rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a solid, I'm gonna give it a solid like 8.5 to 9. Like I want to give it an 8.95, 8.8. I thought it was a good episode. It was an emotional episode. I definitely shed some tears in this episode. So don't anticipate this being a very long review, because I am driving and I do not have the capacity to get emotional all over again. Okay. So if you guys are new here and you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. I would love it. And if you like reality TV related content, then press the like button as well. All right. And then of course, leave your comments down below. I feel like I need to start giving disclaimers when I do recaps. Those of you who know, but when I do recaps for these shows, I'm really doing it for a couple of reasons. One, so that we have a space or we can come, a safe space to talk about these shows and have a good time, right? There's no malicious intent behind anything that I say on this channel. I've just learned a lot through working in this space. I'm here to have a good time, and I'm here to provide a good time and a break for your day. So, and the third and final thing is like, this is a cast of people that when I watch these shows, I observe. I try not to absorb. So I'm really coming at it from a place of, I love these shows, right? They give me something to talk about. And for a lot of you guys, you already know that I'm going through my own process of grief that I'm just trying to understand as well. So this episode really hit hard, because a lot of it is about Nell and her grief, Miss Nell, over her losing her mom. And then also we discover a lot about Latricia's trauma as well, especially dealing with grief. A lot of this episode, and we'll talk about it in themes, because I think it's probably going to be a bit easier to talk about in themes. But a portion of the episode is about, Miss Nell and sort of grieving the loss of her mom around the same time as her anniversary. And I'm sure that is, really, really, really difficult to deal with. I can only imagine. And just listening to the family talk about the plans for the vow renewal, for the 30-year vow renewal, I just, it's sort of laced with sadness, because this is something that she has to grapple with. And there's not a lot I can really say about it other than to empathize, in terms of going back to the gravesite. That's not been something that I've personally been able to do yet. So to see them do that is like, it just hit me. You know what I'm saying? So I can just honestly say that I relate. And I am glad that they touched on this in this show, because so often with a lot of shows, yeah, we do go up for the drama and the funny moments and the ponderosas and the chaos of it all. But I do think that it's important, story-wise, that we touch on elements that may be a bit more sensitive and that people can really relate to, because how many of us have been through this type of angst or anxiety and grief, and we know that feeling. So that resonated with me a lot. There's a conversation with Latricia and her kids about, what they know in terms of her divorce. We found out that the kids thought that they were already they'd already gone through the process of the divorce. I don't really know what Latricia's holdup with just finishing this divorce is, but it's becoming a problem. And I think that there may be some residual. I don't know what's going on with Latricia, to be honest with you, but I think that she needs therapy. And I don't say that from a place of, everybody talks about, this whole thing on Instagram and TikTok of we listen, but we don't judge. I know y'all done seen these, right? So I'm not coming from a place of judgment. I'm coming from a place of listening when I say this, because I am not a psychiatrist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer, although I play a pretend Law and Order SVU university degreed lawyer, okay? But I got 2 eyes and 2 ears, and I think after hearing her talk to Nell about, first, we'll get into whatever happened with her and Martel, but just the trauma that she's been through with losing her mom, her dad, and her sister, her resentment of Marquez for partying, or allegedly partying, while she was going through these things. I don't think that a lot of that is resolved for her. And while I do believe that she loves Ken, I don't necessarily know if, I don't think she should be married right away. I don't think he should want her to be married right away. I think they should take their time and allow her to go to some therapy, and then maybe some therapy that they go to together. Because a lot of their issues, if they were not on this show, I think that they would be able to navigate more successfully outside of the show and with therapy. I think being on this show has heightened what was already there. And I think that Latricia has some trust issues that she's got to also work through. But I think Ken also has to have some ownership in this, because he has a conversation with his friend. And the friend basically tells Ken, like, I've seen you do this time and time again. You come in as Captain Save-A person, and you do all the good things, and then when you don't get it in return, it's time for you to dip. And to that I say, I do think that there is an element to Ken that likes being a provider. But I also think that he has to recognize that there's something with Latricia that she needs to get through in order to get beyond the hurt, the anxiety, the resentment that Marquez has caused her. So he's got to do some realizations and understanding of his own patterns of behavior as well. Just because you are a good guy, it doesn't always also make you immune to patterns that may be destructive for you. So you got to recognize who to be that type of person for. And are you willing to wait for her to get over all of this to be the woman that you feel like you deserve, right? Because she's not going to be able to be that person until she gets through. And I'm not saying she can't get through with you, but she needs to be proactive about getting through it. And I think that therapy would be good for her. I do. And you both. Because you got to understand the baggage that comes along. And I hate to, I'm not reducing what her life is to baggage, as in bags of trash. But there is some emotional baggage that is there that needs to be addressed. And then we get to the Martel of it all, initially with Miss Nell, when Latricia goes to visit Miss Nell and they have a sit down Ponderosa. You know, the conversation starts off about what really happened with Martel. Latricia tells Miss Nell that she went over to Martel's house. He mostly talked about Mel, how he messed up. She told him he messed up. He said, well, I'd invite you over here for therapy. She claims that nothing happened. He didn't try to make no moves. And that was it. The problem with Latricia's story is that it has evolved so much over time, and that she has become an unreliable narrator. So I can't rely on what she is saying, but I do empathize with her, as did Miss Nell, when she started talking about the things that she had gone through with losing both her parents, her sister, as well as, Marquez allegedly at the time not being there for her, and her allowing him to go off and find himself. So it gives me a better understanding of Latricia, but I do think that she fell into a reality TV show trap, and it's not a common one, but it's not uncommon. The trap is that when you are brought into a show and you know people, you've got to clearly establish early on exactly how you know them. Otherwise, it's going to be a thing. Let me take you guys back. Remember when Dr. Wendy came onto the show? There was the tension between her and Karen about how they knew each other. If they were indeed friends or friendly. Did they work on the same board together? It's a thing that becomes common sometimes on these shows. So Latricia, in not being fully transparent, is now at a place where she has got to defend how she knows Martel. And now she's got to dive into the weeds of what really happened, and she's got to now defend every new version of the story that she tells. The other part of the problem is that we don't always know that Martel is also a reliable narrator as well. So we find ourselves kind of like, what really happened, and will we ever really know? I'm kind of ambivalent about it at this point, to be very honest with you, because it has been 1,200 episodes and I just don't know what to believe. So I can guarantee you it's probably confusing for Ken. And as we hear, Ken is becoming more and more frustrated by the moment when he's talking to his friend. And his friend to me is giving very much, leave her alone. That's what it's given from his friend. And to be honest, rightly so, because his friend is getting Ken's perspective, and his friend is probably looking out for Ken's best interest because he knows Ken's previous situations and Ken readily admits to being that guy. I think that Ken indeed has good intentions, but I think he almost has unrealistic expectations of Latricia, and because I don't think he really realizes where she is. Because I don't know that Latricia realizes where she is mentally with letting go of this marriage and finally getting this divorce. So the other scene that we really see play out in this episode, and I could be missing something, but it is that Destiny is throwing Miss Nell a bachelorette party because she never had one for their 30th anniversary vow renewal. So, they're going to be doing some painting of some people, I guess. We don't ever really see that happen. We mostly see the ladies enter. It's all the ladies. We already know that Sunny is included. So when Sunny shows up at the end and it's a to be continued, I do love that they do give us a preview of the following week. As you guys know, I hate it to be continued and they don't give us the preview. Like, thank you. Okay? So for that, I'm going to keep my 8.9 rating. All right, so this is where things start to really heat up in the episode. We have Melody shows up, and right at the onset, Melody is not going to be there long, but she does need to address Latricia, because Kimmy did tell Mel that Latricia had a little bit of beef with her over Melody saying that, you know, Latricia and Marquez were still in love with each other. Was it snarky? Yeah, it was snarky. Was it damaging? Nah. Does it sound good for Latricia? Probably not. But was it harmful? No. Could I see Latricia being irritated by it after that party? I could see her being irritated by it. But not. But I believe that Latricia, it was a culmination of Mel grilling Latricia about whatever happened with her and Martel in the time frame. And I think it was also, I think it was Latricia having left the trip early. Because didn't she leave the trip early with Stormy? I felt like she left the trip early. I think this has been a build-up between Mel and Latricia. Melody's comments to me weren't all that serious, because I do feel like Latricia and Marquez, they do argue like there is some type of sexual tension. Like they do. So it does feel like that, and you won't put this divorce to bed. So I could see why somebody would say that. So as Melody sits down, she straight up asks her, "Hey, Trish, do you have an issue with me?" And at first, Latricia's like, "No," and Kimmy's kind of like, "Well, I'm surprised to hear you say that, because I took the bone to Melody, and I know you said it. So let's get it out on the table so we can move past it, okay? Because that's what we do on these shows." So somebody, and I always tell y'all, somebody got to do the work, okay? Somebody got to go to work. So Kimmy been clocking in, okay? I'm telling you, the OGs, they clocked in this season, okay? If it's a bone to carry, somebody carrying it, okay? So anyway, at that point, Latricia then speaks up about what her issue really is with Melody. And, she lets her know she didn't appreciate that comment that Melody made about them being in love with each other. And so, at that point, Melody's like, "Well, I was really honestly just joking about that, to be clear with you. And if you felt like that was messy, then everybody here is messy." And Latricia she's a little amped, okay? And I think Latricia has been bottling a lot of this energy up. So as she's literally, her voice is elevated, she is definitely a lot more aggressive in her stance. But I'm here for it, because I like a little shake some things up, give me something new, and this is definitely new, okay? Was it warranted? Nah, not really, because this whole thing could have been a regular conversation. But okay, give me some drama, all right? And listen, I'm the type of person where I like to see my reality TV OGs cook. So I say, let these people cook, y'all, okay? I know a lot of y'all about to go in on Trish and rip her a new one. But I also say this. It gives everybody something to do when somebody naturally gets upset about something, and they actually aren't afraid to say how they feel. Like, let's have a real ponderosa. Like, okay, Melody's like, okay, you want to try me? I'm not the one. Let's go. So they kind of go back and forth at it, you know, a little bit. And things are getting kind of rah-rah. And Melody's like, I don't know where this energy is coming from, but I'm not the one for you to be doing that with. And Latricia's like, girl, that's why your name is Melody and my name is Latricia. I do what I do and you do what you do. And if you don't like what I do, oh well. And Melody's like, well, I see why you have so many problems if this is how you talk to the people in your life. And so they, you know, and it just kind of like, it's like, so Destiny's like, oh, this is getting, y'all both getting a little rah-rah. I don't like this energy. And as soon as that happens, Sonny walk in. Now, Destiny, I have a feeling you about to eat your own words, girl. Because just as soon as Sonny walks in, Destiny's in her confessional like, oh, Lord, am I going to have to take my own advice now? So it was overall a good episode. It was overall a good episode. I can't even, because it was emotional for me. I like that element of it. I like stuff like that. So that's my recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Let me know if you guys liked the episode, if you loved it. Oh, I also wanted to shout out Anthony Lofties. He sent me a message that his new children's book is out on Amazon. So y'all know I love to support the people. So make sure you guys, I'll put the link in the description. And y'all know, it's especially when people are writing. I love that. I absolutely love it. And it's about, I think, bullying. So I know a lot of people can relate to that. So make sure you guys check that out. It's in the description down below. And if you guys also have like books and stuff like that out there as well, like, don't be afraid to shoot me a message. Something is going on with my bookings email, so I gotta get that fixed. But yeah, like, I love to promote people who are doing things like this. Like, if you're writing, if you got something that you're proud of and you want it to be promoted, like, definitely let us know or drop it in the comments down below so people can know about it. All right, so with that being said, y'all stay blessed today. I hope that you're having a wonderful, wonderful day today. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Check the links in the description down below as well, because we also have, I told you that I'm scheduling the Cape Town trip, but Zanzibar is still open for the 22nd through the 28th. So tap into that. Then also we have got the travel playbook down in the description down below. So go to the Stand Store link to find that and all of my books. You can find all the links to all the books, all the links to all the trips. And also text 202-918-3386 to Rich Life. A lot of people have been asking about Rich Life. Really, it's a membership, and it's essentially, it provides you with the opportunity to book a lot of your travel and like up to 80% off. And we're actually about to do something really crazy that you want to be a part of that will allow you to test this out for yourself. Okay, so this is something you want to tap into, especially if you are looking to make some extra money as well, because you are able to make money by referring it to others. So like, if you are looking for a side hustle and you want to work directly with me in our Rich Life WhatsApp group, you will be able to have direct access to me and my business partner. And let me tell you something, we've got some amazing people who have already tapped in and are doing some amazing things and getting some amazing discounts on not only concerts, movies, groceries, cars, tires, vacations, hotels, flights, all of that. And no, you do not have to be a travel agent or anything like that, but you can still get these travel agent rates. So make sure to tap into that. I'm going to actually probably start trying to put some testimonials from some of the people who are actually in the Rich Life membership. Well, it's not the membership, we call it Rich Life, but it's actually an exclusive membership that is invite only. So more information about that when you text 202-918-3386. I'll do something special this week to kind of introduce people to what it is, so you can get more information directly from me. I'll probably do a Zoom maybe this Wednesday, so stick around for more information about that. All right, y'all, so with that being said, I will catch y'all in the next video. Oh, be sure to follow me on the Snap as well, y'all. Follow me on the Snapchat. The QR code is above. So with that being said, now I will catch you in the next video.